What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and today I am going to be talking about It Chapter 2. Now, I know that there is some controversy revolving around this movie. I honestly did not get to enjoy this movie to the full extent of the potential that most people did, because I had a terrible theater experience. I'm very small. I'm very, very petite. I've said this many times. I'm basically a hobbit. So one of the things about theater chairs in America, at least the theaters that I go to, is now they've all kind of updated them to where they have those recliner chairs where you get the buttons. But if you don't do the recliner chairs, it's these weird chairs that if you lean back in them, they kind of lean back. But for me, because I'm so small, if I slightly lean back, then the chair starts to push me forward, and I have to spend the entire movie holding myself back. So I can't stand doing that anymore. So I pay for, the nicer seats. I don't want to be uncomfortable when I'm watching the movie. If I'm going out and I'm leaving my little hobbit hole, going out into the world, I want to have a nicer time. So I don't mind paying for a, more expensive movie ticket because I'm treating myself. It's a night out. I like to go to the movie theaters where you do get those nice reclining chairs that have, the little table thing that spins around. You get your own space. You're in your own little bubble. You get to lean back, watch a movie, and enjoy it in comfort. Now, if I'm paying for that, I don't expect a bunch of obnoxious teenagers to be in the movie, because usually obnoxious teenagers don't have money, and if they do, they usually don't want to spend it on, going to a movie. They want to save it and do whatever the hell teenagers do. But I live in Southern California. There are a lot of entitled rich kids that don't think about anyone but themselves and don't take into consideration that people paid money to go to a movie theater to watch a movie, not to see the glare from your freaking cell phone on the entire time. So I go into the movie theater. I like to be in the back, so that way, nobody's behind me. I don't have to worry about, popcorn getting thrown. I like being in the very back row, and I'm leaning back. I'm kind of in the center because I bought my tickets a little bit late, kind of there. There's I got the seats that were closest to the center that I could get. Me and my boyfriend were sitting there. We're chilling. We're ready for the movie to start. About 5 minutes into the movie, the people that had bought in the tickets that were next to me, these 4 seats that were next to me that were in the center, they finally show up. I thought it was weird, and we kind of said, oh, if they're not here, let's move into those seats. Group of 4 girls show up. All right, cool, you guys got to the movie late, whatever. I've been to a movie late myself. I didn't think much of it, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm trying to enjoy watching this movie, and I didn't get fully engrossed in this movie because the entire time I had to continuously lean over and tell these girls, please get off your phones, because every 5 seconds, what was this girl doing? Let me check my phone. Let me check my phone. Girl, if the guy didn't text you back, if you can't go 2 hours without, texting this guy or checking your phone to see if this guy texted you, he's not fucking worth it. Get off your phone. Get off Snapchat. I don't care that you want to take a picture of yourself with the stupid little puppy dog thing that you're at the It Chapter 2 movie. Take a picture outside of the theater. Nobody's gonna see anything anyway. Get off your freaking phone. I paid money to watch this movie. I didn't get to get scared. I didn't get to have that full enjoyment of the movie. Even if it was a bad movie, I don't care. I didn't get to experience that because I was so frustrated that the girls next to me were on their phone the entire movie. And then halfway through the movie, one of the girls dropped her vape pen because they were smoking pot in the movie right next to me. I, made the loud, obnoxious stop freaking smoking. The girl dropped her stupid vape pen, and, they're like, oh my God, I need to find it. They're whispering, they're on their phones, and I'm just like, I could tell other people were getting frustrated. The people on the other side of this group of girls, I could see that one of them was, kind of saying stuff, but they were younger too. And it was so infuriating. And then when the movie ended, one of the girls got on the ground and she just started saying, could you get off your phone? Could you get off your phone? And, I got it. I was getting my stuff together. I was putting my candy back in my purse. And I looked at them and I was like, yeah, could you get off your phone? It's get off your phone. It's it's rude. It's impolite. It's not proper. And then she's like, and she started doing the very childish thing, which is mimicking me. And I'm like, girl, you're literally sitting on the floor trying to make fun of me for telling you to get off your phone. I paid to come to a movie. you're being a child. And it's like, if these girls actually had to pay for the things, if they had to pay for, coming to this movie, it's for me, it was $25 per ticket. Yeah, I know I live in Southern California. I'm including tax, so I'm rounding up to $25. That's with tax included and everything. $25 to watch this movie. If these girls actually, cared, if they actually spent their own money, chances in hell they wouldn't be coming out to this movie. No, they're on mommy or daddy's credit card, and they're there, and they're on their phones the entire time. If you can't go, like 2 hours without being on your phone, you have some serious issues. If you can't go 2 hours without taking a picture of yourself for Snapchat, you have a serious problem. If you're going to mock someone because they're giving you shit for being on your phone at an improper time, like, what the hell is this generation coming to? And in my head, I'm just like, if you were in this movie and it killed you, I wouldn't be sorry, because you know what, you're a shitty fucking person for doing that. Like, and it wasn't just me, like, there's other people in this movie theater. I just happen to be sitting right next to you, so I have no fucking problem telling you to get off your phone. If you are on your phone in a movie, like, unless somebody is dying, unless somebody's popping out a baby, if something like that is happening, then you leave the theater. If this text is so important, if this picture is so important for you to take, go outside. Don't ruin other people's enjoyment of the movie. Now, that being said, I know I've just ranted on forever. Watching this movie, I wasn't particularly blown away. I was honestly expecting a lot more, because I feel like part one, chapter one, it had a lot of, story composition to it, and the way that all the characters interacted, you were getting introduced to this world. Yes, this is a continuation, this is part two, but they showed so many flashbacks back to the kids, and I honestly think that kind of hindered the storytelling for that, because we already watched the movie with the kids, and yes, they had, it follows in suit with, the story. I honestly don't think that this was as scary as the original, Tim Curry Pennywise, yes, the special effects get kind of goofy, and if the story's been out there, everyone kind of knows how it ends. I will try my best not to spoil anything, and it could be because I was, taken out of this movie experience, but I just wasn't scared. Like, yes, there's some things that I'm like, oh my god, what the heck is that? There are a few jump scares that will get you, but the CG is just really bad. Like, when it's in the back and it's blurry and it's like, oh my god, there's that thing in the background, run, girl, run. That's scary. Like, that oh my gosh, your mind is left to, oh my god, what's going on, but you can kind of see that scary thing. It's kind of like Jaws. You hear the music, you see the shark fin, but once you get up close and you see the actual shark, it's like, oh, that's plastic. This was like, oh, that's CG. So as far as that goes, it felt kind of rushed. Like, the characters' dialogue is all rushed. I really enjoyed, the original one when they all finally meet up. They're like, why can't I remember? Like, after we left Derry, they, stopped having those memories. And there was some, like, I don't know, they just did such a good job with the kids, and they have the cast was amazing. I'm not going to say anything bad about anyone's acting. I think they all did great. Jessica did a great job. I really loved her character. I love the little girl actress that played her just as well as I love Jessica playing her. Everyone did a great job. But the only thing is, I know that they built up their characters as kids really well, and they spent a lot of time, introducing you to this world, to this creature, to this danger, this looming danger. But the way that they did it, again, it just felt really rushed. The things that were scary, I felt, weren't as scary as they could have been. The CG just wasn't there. The Pennywise being that sinister clown, I didn't feel that anticipation. And again, it could 100% be the fact that I was, frustrated with the fact that these girls are on their phones every 5 minutes and it's taken me out of the story. I might have to watch it again, but just from watching it, it just felt, it goes by really fast. That's another thing, is maybe it's because everything is moving so fast, like things continuously happen. So even if you do get that scene where it's kind of slow, there's still something going on to where it keeps it moving. So if you like those movies where things continuously are, plot, it's driving the plot in every single scene, like something is constantly happening, then you'll like this movie. But for me, I like the buildup. I like that anticipation, that like anxiety that you get. Like at least when I go into a scary movie, that's what I'm anticipating, is like you're just waiting and you're getting anxious. You're like, oh my god, is that person gonna die? Is it gonna get them? Is it gonna get them? Is it gonna get them? No, it's the main character. Oh no, I've read the books. I know what's gonna happen. And there's a couple. Yeah, it's funny. There are some things that are funny, but it was just. The first one was scarier to me. And yes, the kids are comical. That's part of some of the character, or like, the characteristics of the characters. But this movie, it didn't really feel, like, you don't feel that dread that you did for the first movie. Like, oh my god, they're gonna die. Like, it's gonna get them. Yes, they can be adults. Yes, there is things that are gonna happen. But I just feel like it just seemed rushed. There's something missing. And again, it 100% could be that I was, taken out of it. But the dread that I felt, the fear, I left, and I'm not a scary movie person. I don't like scary movies. I don't like being scared. I don't like that feeling. But when I left the first It movie, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of the kids in it, all those child actors. They did such a good job. And the way that the story was told, yes, it was a bit different than the original miniseries, but I don't know. I liked it, and I was looking forward to It Chapter 2, and I was like, oh my gosh, they could only go so far because they're kids. What the heck are they going to do when they're in the adult part? And I wish that they would have made it a little bit more serious and not as comical, because now they are adults. Kids were joking about this, but now as an adult, you're going to get, more, I don't know, like a little bit more of like intellectual dialogue, or just, I was just expecting something else, I guess, and I get, because, the miniseries, I did like that, and I did like the little cameo from Stephen King. I thought that was cool, and there are, like, things that I did like the one character, oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. I always do this. Whenever I film videos, it's like I know everything, and then when I start talking, it's like I forget everyone's name. The kid that's in love with Jessica Chastain's character. What? Oh my god, I'm going to feel so... The second I'm done filming this, I'm going to remember every single person's name, and I'm going to feel dumb. But that actor, like, oh my... He was really good, like, the entire time. Just... The look in his eyes, you can just tell he loves her. And I think that they did a really good job. The little boy that played him, same exact thing. So I think that the fluidity of the children actors and the adult actors, they were really, really well done. Like, you believe that, even though, that these are different people, but it's very believable. The adults captured the essence of what the child actors gave them to, roll with, and they captured that essence. It was 100% believable on these, it's two different actors playing the same character, but it's still the same person, and I love, love, love that. So all of them did a really good job. It's just some things that I feel like were rushed. I wasn't scared for them, though, like I was in It Chapter 1. And again, I know that there's a bit of controversy with the opening scene of it. I didn't have a problem with it. It felt very untoned with the movie. I know some people say that, it's woke. I didn't get that feeling that it was woke, but I'm from a small town. I grew up in a town that's even smaller than Derry. Like, the town I grew up in doesn't have any stoplights. It never has, and it never will. It's a tiny little Portuguese town. And, when you have two people that, don't fit in with the norm, obviously my town's not like that. It's not like got this evil entity in it, but it is something that people talk about, and that's one of the things that you have, like, in a small town. I think Edward Scissorhands shows it the best. It's like, something out of the ordinary happens, within 5 minutes, everyone in the town knows about it. And so, that opening scene where it's, the gay couple, and then they get, harassed and beat up, I think that you also have to think about when the It book was written, the time period, everything that was going on with, politics, or, like, I would say, like, not necessarily politics, but like social politics, kind of like how right now we're dealing with SJW stuff. Back then it was, you can go read the stories about what happened if you came out as gay and the horrible things that happened to you. So I think that was, with the time period that it was kind of showing that this is a town that's stuck in the past, I think it was honestly actually pretty appropriate for that. I know a lot of people freaked out and said, Stephen King hates gay people, they hate gay people because of it. It's like, no, that this happened, and it's amazing that our, you know, country and, you know, our people as a society has grown so, you know, far in acceptance, because I have plenty of friends that are gay and there's nothing wrong with them. Their sexuality doesn't define them as people. And I think that's kind of the point that the two actors were making, like, you know, or, you know, the characters. One of them was from that town. He knew what it's like. He's told his boyfriend, he's like, no, like, just ignore it because they're not going to stop. They're simple-minded small town people. They're not going to understand. You know, you're just egging them on. It's just going to get worse. The boyfriend doesn't listen because, you know, he's from the big city. He doesn't know what it's like. He's used to people giving him shit, and, you know, if you dish it, you better be able to take it, and he dishes it back, but then they take it to the next level, and it's horrifying. But these things actually did happen in American history. And so, I mean, this is a movie about an evil force that comes to Earth that turns into your worst nightmare and turns into like an evil clown that devours children. If you have a problem with that scene with, you know, the gay couple, yeah, I mean, it's like, yes, that's a reality that has happened in the past, and, you know, unfortunately might still be happening today. But it's like, there's this overlooming evil. There's this entity that came to Earth and devours, you know, children. Like, you see it open up like its giant head and like bite children's heads off. There's other things to be complaining about than that. I honestly think it was obviously it's not something that you want to see. It is a horror movie. You have to be understanding of that. And, you know, if we wipe away history that like it didn't happen, we're not going to learn from history and, you know, learn to not repeat the mistakes of the past. So something like that, you know, I understand if it strikes a nerve with people, but that's a scary thing to happen. But that is something that happens, and I think because of the realism behind it, it makes it that more terrifying. I don't think it was a woke agenda or anything like some people say. Honestly, if that's what you're going to be complaining about in this movie, there's a lot worse. There's, you know, a woman getting, you know, domestic violence. I mean, she's getting beaten by her husband. Her husband's like, she has a conversation with a friend, and it's not one of the guys that's in love with her. It's just one that's calling her to, like, contact her again to have her come back, and the husband is jealous and he beats her. It's like there's a lot of horrible things. There's you know, what happened with her and her father in the past, and how it shows how her father was abusive to her, and, you know, he, you know, not only physically but mentally with, you know, in memory of her mother, and how he, you know, tortured his little girl, his child, and the struggles that happened. You can see, you know, what's going on in everyone else's life. They all have serious issues that, you know, are real life issues, and then they have to deal with the real life issues, and they have to deal with this monster that's going to fucking eat them and, you know, kill everything. So, I mean, I don't know what people are looking for, but I mean, when you read into something that it's a horror movie, like, if you're gonna get offended by something, it's like, well, almost everyone dies, or, you know, a lot of people die in this damn movie. So if you're going into a horror movie expecting, you know, nice, let's skip through daisy fields, you're not going to get it. But anyway, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize for, you know, the little mini rant in the beginning, but if you're going to a movie theater, do not be on your phone. It's extremely disrespectful, and especially to people that actually use their own money to pay for it, not, you know, mommy and daddy's credit card. So, that being said, everyone remind your children that if you do have children, and I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video, you know, has raised respectable children that wouldn't do that. But, yeah, if you like this video, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you watched this movie and you didn't have somebody ruin it for you by being on their phone the entire time, let me know if you agree with the pacing and, you know, everything that I kind of criticized, because, again, I don't know if I was just taken out of the moments because these girls were on their phone, or if it actually was that way. If you didn't have that interruption, let me know in the comments, because I want to know if that's just me or not, if I need to go watch this movie again. But I'm kind of bitter because of that experience, and I don't want to watch it. But again, anyway, let me know. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little bell. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.